Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by, but if you're a returner, it's always nice to have you back. And this is another video in the series that I'm creating to celebrate Black History Month. This video is actually at the request of one of my subscribers, Akeelah. In the comments of the first video of the series, she said, "Great video, definitely looking forward to the next one." A possible idea could be movies, TV shows you recommend to watch, especially during Black History Month. And I love movies, I love TV shows, I watch a lot of stuff when I have free time, so I have a lot of things that I can suggest for this one. And this video specifically is going to be some movie suggestions. I will be releasing another video of TV show suggestions. But to start off with the first one, movies, I decided, why don't we give this a little descriptor? What do I want to be the main thread through all of the movies that I'm going to be suggesting for Black History Month? And I thought, well, when you see movies about Black History Month, and I actually saw a perfect post that encapsulates what I'm about to say, but a lot of the movies that get suggested during Black History Month are about slavery or segregation or just very deep struggle type movies. And I thought I want to give people some positive suggestions for Black History Month. So all of these movies are going to be uplifting movies that you can watch in order to celebrate Black history. And just to let you know, we are going to be starting in the past and then we will work our way up to more current movies. And it's only going to be 10 suggestions of movies. I know that there are many movies that one could watch for Black History Month. There are many uplifting movies that one could watch for Black History Month. But to keep the video short, I'm just going to be going through 10. And as always, if you have suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comments. But we are going to ease on down into our first suggestion. The Wiz was released in 1979, and it is The Wizard of Oz, but make it black and make it funky. So I remember why I watched this movie in the first place. For drama class, we had to watch The Wizard of Oz and talk about the performance, the music, all that kind of stuff. So it was for educational reasons. The teacher was also just probably tired at the end of the school year. But we watched The Wizard of Oz, and I'm talking to my mom about how much I like the movie. And she goes, have you seen The Wiz? That's so much better. And I'm like, what's The Wiz? And she just about revoked my black card. And I was like, Mom, you never showed me The Wiz. How am I supposed to know that it even exists? So that weekend, we sat down as a family and watched The Wiz, and I was just blown away because the visuals were amazing, the music was great. It also has Michael Jackson in it, and I love Michael Jackson. And because it is the black version of The Wizard of Oz, it has all those same good values about finding heart, finding courage, being intelligent, all of those amazing things, and then of course, finding your way home at the end of it all. So The Wiz is our first suggestion of uplifting Black movies for Black History Month. Next up on the list is the 2005 film Hitch. It is starring Will Smith. I love Will Smith. He is a hilarious comedian and also just a great actor in general. But this movie I suggested because it's about opening yourself up to the possibility of falling in love, opening yourself up and having that emotional vulnerability with another person. And another reason why I like this movie is because it shows and demonstrates that your fairy tale love does not have to be completely perfect, does not have to be the way that it goes in the books with everything just turning out like a fairy tale. It can have some bumps along the road, it can have some little embarrassing moments or even an allergy attack, but that doesn't mean that the relationship cannot flourish. So that's why I like Hitch and why I put it up there. Up next on the list is Akeelah and the Bee, which was released in 2006. It is basically the foretelling of Zyla Avant-Garde. I'm pretty sure I said her name right, but if you remember, a couple of years ago, a little black girl won the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And also, just on the side, she is an amazing basketball player as well. So she says, I got time to do both. But Akeelah and the Bee is the story of a little girl from a lower socioeconomic status getting involved in, getting interested in something like the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And generally, this is a very upper socioeconomic status thing that happens for their younger children. It's something that they have the time to put in, the tutoring, all of the special, like, I don't know, whatever it is that they do in order to be able to spell all these words from the dictionary. It's not something that lower socioeconomic status people and consequently Black people have the opportunity to do. But here she is going into the competition, absolutely killing it, and then in the end, winning. And I remember seeing this in theaters. It did not inspire any kind of anything in me to want to be in the Scripps National Spelling Bee, but it was more about the values of perseverance and believing in oneself that I really found to be an important part of this movie. It also stars Lawrence Fishburne and Keke Palmer, and they did amazing, obviously. Up next is The Pursuit of Happyness, which was also released in 2006. Now, this movie, I did put it on this list because I do think that it is uplifting at the end. It's sad in the beginning. It's sad in some parts. Like, there are parts that actually had me crying and tearing up every single time that I'm watching it. But all of that leads up to a wonderful, just kind of like victory yes at the end, when the father, again, Will Smith, reaches his goal that he is trying to get in order to make sure that he can provide for himself and his son. And this is another movie about perseverance, another movie about believing in oneself, but it also reveals the intense sacrifices that parents are willing to make for their children in order for them to not see the hardships that they are going through and ensure that their child is still able to live a happy life. It also has one of the best motivational speeches that I've ever heard in my entire life. People want to tell you that you can't do something simply because they couldn't do it. Never let anyone crush your dreams. And I was just like, ooh, that is a good motivational speech. And it also happens much earlier in the movie, which gives it a little bit more happiness in the midst of everything else that was happening at the beginning of the movie. Up next is The Princess and the Frog, which was released in 2009. So, I love Disney. This is obvious. It is not a secret. And being able to have a Black Disney princess that is hardworking, that has a business plan, that wasn't actively looking for love throughout the entirety of her movie, that's something that's really important for me to have and to see, and also for little girls to see, because Princess Tiana is the best Disney princess out there. Her and Mulan. Yeah, I'm gonna say her and Mulan are definitely the best Disney princesses simply because of their storylines. So being able to have this on your list, and it doesn't have to be something for a little child to watch during Black History Month. An adult can watch this and still get the same joy of watching Princess Tiana be an amazing and also she isn't a princess at the start of it. It is all through her own hard work and grit that she becomes a princess and woos Prince Naveen into falling in love with her. Just, not that she was trying, it's just what she does. Up next is the 2016 movie Hidden Figures, which I remember going to see as a part of a Jack and Jill event. And this event was done with a contact that we had working at NASA, who brought in a gigantic display table that had all of these different graphs, information, little trinkets for kids to take. And I remember sitting there and just being in so much awe that these women in STEM, that these Black women in STEM were such an integral part in getting us into space. So also another part of this is that Katherine Johnson, one of the three main characters that the movie follows, she's an AKA. And just beyond that, also the actors in this movie, you've got Taraji P. Henson, you've got Octavia Spencer, both of them really heavy hitters. And it's a great movie for inspiring that love for STEM, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, in little Black girls, because you might not see that many role models in those areas. And it's something that's important in order to get little kids to believe that they can do whatever it is that they're dreaming. Because having someone who is in that position that you want to be in is going to inspire in you a belief that you can do it as well. Then we have the 2018 movie Night School. And yes, it is a comedy. That's what happens when you have Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish in it. But there is a very serious life lesson that can be learned in this. You should never be afraid of bettering yourself, and you should never be afraid of trying to further your education in order to make that happen. And also, just finding the right teacher, finding a teacher that truly cares about you, your experiences, your hardships, is something that can set any student up for success. And also in 2018, the movie Black Panther was released. Now, I love Marvel, but not having any movies about a Black superhero, that was fixed with this movie, and it was a hit. I mean, you've got Chadwick Boseman, Letitia Wright, Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrero, and also Winston Duke. And it is just a heavy-hitting cast, obviously, and just the visuals of Wakanda itself. I mean, that is the clearest depiction of Afrofuturism that I have ever seen in any kind of movie, TV show, or music video to date. That's how amazing that it was. Up next, we have the 2020 movie Black is King. Now, some of you might be saying, that's not really a movie, it's more like a movie-length music video. And I could get that, but still, it is a great experience just to sit there and see all of that work, all of the lyricism, all of that just compositional ability and also choreographic ability that goes into Black is King. Also, it being Beyonce, that is another reason why most people, at least by now, have already seen it. But it was just a great movie to sit and listen to and just vibe to for that extended amount of time. And now the final movie, the most recent movie on this list, is King Richard, the 2021 movie. This also has Will Smith in it, and it is about the story of Venus and Serena Williams growing up into the amazing goats that they are today in tennis. So I believe that Will Smith is going to get a bunch of nominations for this movie because of how well written and because of how well acted this movie was. But it's another movie about the act of being great, the act of being the best, being the GOAT. It's not something that you are just born with. It's not something that comes easy. It's something that takes work, grit. And even if there are some pitfalls, that doesn't mean that it can stop you from being the best athlete that there ever was or will be. So those are all of my suggestions of uplifting movies that one could watch to celebrate Black History Month. Remember to watch out for the other video I will be releasing soon about TV shows that one could watch for Black History Month. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.